One planet, 7.3 billion people, only one you. Life offers us many opportunities and learning experiences. Are you ready to explore and discover this beautiful planet, the life and energy all around us, the spiritual world, and what is unseen, along with your own personal soul adventure? Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector, is the spiritual connection you have been prospecting for. Internationally known as a tested and professional clairvoyant medium and spiritual advisor, Marc's work as a metaphysical teacher, medical instructor, radio show host, inspirational writer, and hiking guide are here to help you on a journey of self-discovery, healing, inspiration, education, and a whole lot of spiritual awesomeness. Dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live. For more information on Marc's spiritual practice in Seattle, Washington, please visit marclainhart.com or internet search The Intuitive Prospector.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in this beautiful, amazing, transformative, healing, united planet of ours. This is Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. I am your host, Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector. How you doing this morning? Where are you at in the world? How you surviving in all these changing times that we're going through? I'm here every Monday morning for Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a half-hour show committed to inspiration, encouragement, motivation, thinking outside the box, awareness, awakening, transformations, finding the diamond within. Thank you for joining me, and we'll have the Healing Cafe this morning right after. And then we also have some seats still open for our soul guidance and inspirational speaking and inspirational messages later on this morning with my colleague Remitris Davis, right, over all the way across the world in Norway. And it's a 5-week series we did last year in 2020. We're doing it again this year in 2021, and we're having a lot of fun. So thank you for joining me. Today's message is, if you don't risk it, you don't get the biscuit. So grab your coffee, grab your tea. Let's move into the magic of the moment as we get into some inspirational messages for you. So you can see this morning I've got my Super Bowl jersey when I went to the Super Bowl when the Seahawks traveled. So I'm here in Seattle, Washington. That's where my studio is. And I traveled, well, I was at the Green Bay game for Seattle, and then we won, came back, one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history, 2 minutes down, and we're down by 13, come back, we win. And then the next morning I get up on this Monday morning and have won the lottery for two tickets to the Super Bowl. So I went to Phoenix, Arizona, and watched the Seahawks play the Patriots. And guess who the quarterback was of the Patriots? Tom Brady. Who beat us? Tom Brady on the half-yard line, one of the top 5 Super Bowls of all time. So I thought this morning I'd wear my Super Bowl jersey of my team who was not in the Super Bowl. If you watched the Super Bowl yesterday, it was a lot of fun. You got to see Tom Brady again win his 7th championship, become the greatest of all time to ever, play this sport. Statistically, it was an okay game. The halftime show was okay. I got a kick out of the streaker. If you guys saw the streaker who ran across the field, actually he got more yardage in running across the field than Kansas City did in the game. So I can kind of tell you the game. But what got me thinking this morning for how this show works is I'm inspired by my coffee. So you know how some people look into a crystal ball, or some people, read their horoscopes. Some people meditate. Some people do exercise to get their brain going. For me, Metaphysical Mocha Mondays is I make my coffee up. I look in my coffee cup and I kind of think about what kind of pattern that the cream that I pour in makes. And then from there, I come up and I sit on my meditation mat, and that kind of guides me to talk about the topic. And this morning, it was funny because yesterday they were talking about people that took risks. And I think I even heard Tony Romo say, if you want to get the biscuit, you got to risk it. So, and what made me think about the show today was it's the same thing with us in life. We have to sometimes take those risks. So if you don't risk it, you're never going to get the biscuit. And they were talking about the head coach who won yesterday for Tampa Bay is the oldest coach to ever win a Super Bowl. And he was actually doing commentating just 2 years ago. He was on Fox Sports as an analyst, and he got talked into coming back to coach the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And of course, they brought Brady in. And of course, there was a lot of, they'll never go anywhere. And it's interesting how things align, you guys. It's the first time an actual home team, Tampa Bay, actually hosted in their stadium, Tampa Bay, and things aligned, and Tom Brady became, the GOAT. So if they wouldn't have taken the risk, again, if you don't risk it, there's no biscuit. And that's, it's interesting because after the game was over, my wife and I started watching Up in the Air. It has George Clooney in it, and it's about people that would fly all around the United States to fire the other people. And it's actually not a real good feel-good movie. It's an interesting movie if you've never watched it, but it's called Up in the Air. George Clooney and the young girl that was in Pitch Perfect movies. But it was interesting because their message was, what are you doing right now? Is your job that you have holding you back from what you really wanted to pursue? Were you afraid to take that leap of faith? Were you afraid, or the risk of, we think failure is a bad thing. I actually promote fail as a good thing, first attempt in learning. But is your job or what you're currently doing in your life not allowing you to do what you wanted to do in life? So let me just make sure that we are broadcasting. There wouldn't be anything worse than just talking to an empty screen. But I think we are. I think we're going. Yeah, it looks like we are. Okay. So I switched over to Zoom this year. Well, not this year. I've been with Zoom for like 5 years, you guys. I run my development groups all through Zoom. I started doing that almost 5 years ago. But when I broadcast now to Facebook, I'm going through live because it's a lot more interactive, and I can share some things with you. So the one thing that I wanted to share my screen with, if I've got it here, and I don't believe that I do. Let me switch over here. So I had saved a picture on my desktop, and I wanted to share that picture with you if I could. Let's see. Let me put it in the chat board. Maybe we'll do it this way. File, your computer. That's the fun thing about Zoom. If you guys, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Zoom. So we've all been in the Zoom, the digital transformation. Because what was funny is I was actually going to talk about digital transformation in my show today, because we're seeing a lot of digital transformations taking place. But I don't think I actually put the picture to my desktop, darn it. Let's see here. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so we'll cancel that. All right, I guess I didn't save it, but really what it was a picture of goals. I guess I could switch over to my, I don't even have my email open anymore. Okay, never mind. Never mind. All right. All right. So what it is, it's a picture of a person on a path, and then your goals is out here, you're here, and you got everything from your lack of confidence, family member, friends, doubt, fear of what you won't do to get to your goals. And part of the getting to your goals aspect is to risk it, to take a leap of faith. Otherwise, you'll never know. So today's message is, if you don't risk it, there's no biscuit. And that's fine for some people, but for me, it was a big risk and a leap of faith for me to do what I do today. I still have a part-time federal day job, but I went from full-time, and I took a leap of faith and a risk to part-time so I could focus more on my shows, focus more on my writings, focus more on my spiritualism and what I do, and my teachings and my readings. And I'll have to say, this is the first year, as I'm wearing my enlightenment hat here, because this is kind of where I started, you guys. I kind of started as this, this ignorant Neanderthal. And as I've gone through my shaking that caused the awakening, the trauma and the tragedy that opened me up to spiritualism and metaphysics and psychic and mediumship, getting to this path of what we call right here the enlightenment stage. And this hasn't been an easy path, but in order to get from here to here, you've got to be able to have a little bit of risk involved in taking that leap of faith. So today I want to encourage you to risk it so you can go after your own biscuit. And for me, when I did this 2 years ago, I took this leap of faith and I took a pay cut. I took a demotion, if you will, to go to part-time in my federal day job so I could focus on the things that I'm doing today, writing articles, working on my book, teaching. And it's the first time last year that I actually made more in an income than I did for my federal day job. So, it balances, but if I wouldn't have taken the risk and taken that leap of faith, I wouldn't know what that biscuit looks like today. So if you don't risk it, there's no biscuit. So is there something that you've been thinking about today that you're not doing because, maybe, like in the movie, the one guy that they're getting ready to fire, he says, what am I going to do? I'm 50 years old. I make $90,000. And then George Clooney looks at his resume and says, yeah, but you also back in your day mentored and educated yourself at one of the most prestigious restaurants on being a chef, and going to France and having that understudy to be a renowned chef. What's holding you back from following that dream? Was it the job that you took that started out at 21,000? I think he said, what was the cost of giving up your dream? In other words, so what's the cost of you giving up your dream? Because the secret of life is getting paid to do what you love in life, because we're the only species that pays to live here. So think about that in your journeys. And in the movie, the gentleman was like, you could see that he was pretty pissed off because he was getting fired, or he wasn't getting fired. They didn't have a job for him anymore. The industry changes, life changes. And it got him thinking, yeah, maybe that $21,000 that I jumped on to put my dream on hold is something that you can reinvent yourself and come back to your original dreams. So don't get caught up in what the cost of selling your dream is, and start to maybe take a leap of faith, risk it to get the biscuit. And again, watching the Super Bowl yesterday was really cool because there are a lot of people in that game that took risks. Tampa Bay had it was the first time in the Super Bowl that we had 2 female coaches coaching in the Super Bowl. It was the first time that an actual female referee was refereeing in the Super Bowl. It was the oldest coach to ever win or coach in a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl after coming back and taking a risk to come back to Tampa Bay. When the season started, Tampa Bay wasn't really projected to win that many games. And then, of course, Tom Brady, New England got rid of Tom Brady. I think they're probably going, crap, we shouldn't have probably done that, kept him a few more years and closed his legacy out in Boston, but that didn't work out. So he took a risk. He took a leap of faith, and he went down to Tampa Bay, which wasn't projected to go anywhere. And look how the story unfolds. If you don't risk it, you guys, there's no biscuit. So think about what you're doing today. These shows are here, like I said, to inspire, encourage, and motivate. And today is about motivating you to, take a risk in life. Life is a series of risks, and that makes you feel alive. And again, it's not about taking a risk and failing at what you're risking to do. It's taking a risk and learning, because failure is first attempt in learning in what you're capable of and what you are. Maybe you're selling yourself short. Maybe you're not reaching your full potential. That's what I do. That's what, when I first took my Myers-Briggs profile, it was about, I didn't realize I was supposed to be an inspirer. I was doing something, a job that was, as a management analyst, was just killing me inside and killing my soul. And I had to make that progression and that transformation and that leap of faith, and took a risk. No risk, you don't risk it, no biscuit. So I could be here today doing what I love. And again, I love doing this work and helping people and inspiring, encouraging, and motivating, and life coaching and spiritual coaching and teaching. But that doesn't happen overnight. It has to start with you. You have to take an action. So if you've got a dream here in your forehead, in your third eye, in your mind, take that dream and take action to bring it out into your reality, because things are born twice, in my opinion. First in your mind, and then what you do to bring out into your reality. So again, if you don't risk it, there's no biscuit. If you want to get from here to here, this is a series of transformations, choices, changes. It's the 3 C's life. Take a chance, make a choice, see the change. Let me say that again. Take a chance. No, don't risk it, no biscuit. Make a choice. Your power is your ability to free will and choose what you want in your journey, not what somebody else says, not what your boss says, not what your family says, not what friends say. So take a chance, make a choice, see the change that can progress. And that's why I'm wearing my hat today, and I've got my computer glasses on. But I just wanted to share that with you today. We'll get ready for the Healing Cafe. It won't be a long Healing Cafe. So if you've never been to the Healing Cafe is a community of people coming together to help change the world as far as just, people that are wanting to see a difference in our planet, in people, our connection to nature. You can ask for a reading. There'll be details in the description for how it works. Usually I just have one person ask one question, and then I go in a queue. Sometimes we get trollers and, people that want to clickbait in the social media realm. That's part of the world that we live in. But it's just a way that I can also be connected to people and be in service to help others. So if you have a question, or if you want a reading, you never know what you're going to get in the Healing Cafe, but it's a fun community of people all around the planet. So make sure to invite people, like this page, the Intuitive Prospector, and join the almost 31,000 people around the planet that follow my work. And I want to let you guys know, I'm going to put my website in, but I'm also I've got a fun show coming up for my podcast and live radio show, Inspired Living Radio, this Wisdom Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Over on Om Times Radio. So it's internet-based radio. I've been with Om Times for 6 seasons now. We're in our 6th season of Inspired Living Radio. And Wednesday show is going to be fun, because we're talking about past lives and reincarnation. So if you've ever been interested in reincarnation like I have, in past lives, because almost every religion around the world has reference to reincarnation. It's going to be a fun show with my guest, the expert Sakira Sutter, who actually runs her own radio show here in Seattle, and I've been on her show a few times for live readings, KKNW here in local Seattle radio AM. So I invited her on to Inspired Living Radio to talk about past lives and reincarnation, and if you believe in it, if you don't believe in it, no, it's really just about perspective. Everybody has a different perspective, and that's what Inspired Living Radio is. So I hope that you'll join me this Wisdom Wednesday. Again, you can go to marclainhart.com, internet search the Intuitive Prospector for all the events coming up, all the live shows coming up, my latest article. I just wrote an article based on what I'm seeing for 2021 from a numerology standpoint. And of course, questions about COVID and the, what I'm seeing for our future, the great coming together. So I'll put that link. I'll put that link in the website. Let's see here. We'll go to marclainhart.com. We'll just put that in right now. Paste that into Facebook, I hope, here. Let's see here. So I see some of you on the Good morning to all of you. So I've gone ahead and put the website in. I'm also wanted to let everybody know that I'm also now on Patreon. So if you want to start joining my Patreon community, it's a great way. It's exclusive to Patreon members only. You get, depending on what level that you join me on and what level you want to, the diamond or the blue diamond, the red diamond, there's 6 different ways to join my Patreon group. But every month, my patrons will get exclusive inside stuff to readings, numerology, psychic readings, but also we will build off the podcast that I do every month. So for example, last show that I just did with Don Miguel Ruiz, talking about the actor in that book, there will be some really behind the scenes stuff to build off that podcast, teachings that I'll do. So if you want to join my Patreon community, it's new this year in 2021. I hope that you'll join me on that every month, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You can follow me now on TikTok. I'm also on a new app that I'm going to be starting for Inspired Living Radio. It's not out there in the hemisphere yet for everybody, but it is called where did it go? Mercury retrograde. I'm telling you guys, Mercury retrograde. So it's called Clubhouse. And what it is you actually join, and it's no video, it's all voice. And I've been on it a couple of times. It's not open to the public yet. It's only available through the iPhone, but it's called Clubhouse. And I've gotten to really listen to some really cool teachers, including Elon Musk, who was on there. And so I'm going to be starting a room called Inspired Living. And that's another way that'll be through my Patreon page as well. And it's a lot of fun. It's literally people coming in and sharing ideas and communicating and connecting, which we need more of that in our world. So it's called Clubhouse. You'll see more and more of it as it rolls out in the rest of the year. But I'm doing a lot of work now on TikTok, Instagram, Clubhouse, Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the social media pages, but I'm kind of moving away from Facebook and more inspirational stuff on TikTok. So make sure to follow me. Just go to marclainhart.com and click on those links, all at marclainhart.com. I just redid my website. It's all been refreshed and updated and redesigned. So I hope that you will check that out. So with that, wanted to give you your numerology number for the week, 57, teaching and learning. So this is a good time to teach and to learn in the month of February. 5 is, we're in the year of the 5, which is freedom, love, and adventure. And 7 is truth, seeking truth, finding truth, knowing truth, hearing truth. So do a little teaching and learning this week. I also wanted to give you our crystal for the week. And the crystal for the week is called the Desert Rose Selenite. So here you go, Desert Rose Selenite. I have this. So what's interesting about this stone is, on average, they say the material in this can date as far back as 250 million years ago. So I'm holding history in my little hand here. And what I like about this desert rose, one, I love the looks at it. I think it's a very cool crystal stone, and like I said, the elements that are all built within the desert rose selenite. But what this stone represents, and I wanted to give you your crystal for this week, this stone it's very tied to traditional Native American tales of finding the desert rose, where warriors would go out and seek their connection to the spirit world, go on a soul quest, if you will, or spirit walk, and they would use this a lot. But the desert rose, I find, is really good and beneficial for meditation. It's a meditation tool that really helps you stay grounded and balanced. Its minerals within the stone itself activate both the root and the crown chakra up here, and also the sacral chakra. So your lower chakras to your upper chakras that assist in mental clarity, focus, manifestation, self-expression, and unlocking our divine, whatever that is for you. And it's a perfect stone to place by the bedside, the workplace, or in the meditation room. So I wanted to share that stone with you today. Again, the desert rose selenite, I have it here in my studio. It sits up here, so it's in my meditation room, and it's a great grounding stone, like I said. Last but not least, want to give you a card for this week. I usually give you an I allow card, things that you can say, positive mantras, positive manifestations, positive thinking, positive living, inspired living. But this week I picked for my new deck. This was sent to me by, her name is Debbie Harding. These are her cards. They're called Simple Rituals. They're guidance cards. And you'll see in the Healing Cafe that I have a bunch of decks that are sent to me, and I use them in my shows. So if you want to send me a deck, I'll use it in my future shows. But this morning we picked the Bee. And I'm learning these cards. So there's a penny, Lincoln, which is interesting given the times, Abraham Lincoln and our great divide here in the United States. But it talks about the bees as, you know, bees are small creatures, but they're vital to our existence. And there's nothing truer than that. Einstein said if the bees ever disappear from the planet, mankind would disappear within 4 years, because bees make our food. They pollinate and they cross-pollinate that give us food. Without bees, there's no food. Without food, there are no humans. So it's a symbiotic relationship, but the card also represents team unity, because the bees work in community and they work in unity to complete their tasks. And it is, bees are a symbol of unity and harmony, and they're a sign of good luck, wealth, and prosperity. So I used that. I picked this card at random this morning. This is what came up. So be like the bees, start to move into community, start to move into unity. I noticed the commercials last night on the Super Bowl were all representation of unity and compassion and grace and forgiveness. But we also have to have, you know, accountability and consequences for actions. Otherwise, we don't move forward, and it's kind of a slow suicide. So I hope to see that in the weeks ahead of how we start to move together. I love the Jeep commercial. I don't know if you guys saw the Jeep commercial with Bruce Springsteen. Powerful, powerful commercial. Again, television can be a very powerful outlet for positivity, but be mindful too, because it is television or programming. But a lot of the words and messaging that I saw yesterday were about unity, coming together, things that I've talked about in my predictions from last January, the great coming together, the roaring 20s, which is a decade of transformations and big things happening. So, you know, be like the bee, do a little bit of teaching and learning on your path this week, use the selenite stone. And also just want to share with you guys, I got a very cool, because you guys know that I'm pretty much a Star Wars nerd, and I'm okay saying that. But I got a holocron, which is new. So what you do is it's kind of like a Rubik's Cube, and you turn it on, and it has kyber crystals in it. So here's the kyber crystal. So this is a kyber crystal. These are the crystals that light up the lightsabers. So I got this week, kind of fun. And then what you do, and so these are called holocrons. This is the Jedi. And then you have one that's a triangle, that's the Sith, and they actually can connect together. But when I put the kyber crystal in, it actually turns different colors. And if you press the holocron, it'll actually give you a message. Let's see if I can do it. Again, I'm nerding out, I know. So see how it turns red? Because it's got a red kyber crystal in it. Let's see. Press the two buttons. I don't know who's in it. So each crystal's different. Maybe it doesn't work. All right. So you're supposed to press the buttons, and it's supposed to give you a message. All right. Oh, there you go.
Now, if you choose the quick and easy path, as Vader did, you will become an agent of evil.
Ooh. So if you choose the quick and easy path, you'll become like Vader did, an agent of evil. So that's just something fun I wanted to share with you guys. I'm always sharing fun, zany things. Life's short. Why not, right? So again, today's message, don't risk it, no biscuit. So I hope that you'll take a risk. I hope that you'll do something today that makes you feel alive. You follow your dreams, you follow that and find that diamond within, and have, you know, confidence and faith and joy and hope for your days ahead. So just wanted to thank you for joining me today for Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. I'll be back next Monday with another inspiring message, encouragement, motivations, ways to think outside the box, ways to explore, dream, discover, and help you find that diamond within. So we'll get ready for the Healing Cafe in just a few minutes here. Good morning to my behind the scenes team. I'll see you guys over in the Healing Cafe. Thanks for joining me. And until our next soul adventure together, be kind, be caring, be compassionate. Take that deep breath in. Don't risk it, no biscuit. So I hope that you'll do a little bit of risk this week and follow your dreams. So, and with that, dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live, and discover that diamond within. We'll see you next week on Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. Have a great week, everybody. Cheers. Namaste.